Hello, happy Friday from my kitchen. I've just dropped down to the shops and done a huge weekend grocery haul with the most beautiful bag. I actually bought this at the airport in Doha, sorry, when we were flying on Qatar Airways because it stops via Doha instead of Dubai. And it's really, really pretty. I love it. I think it was just one of those really fun items that I found on our trip. But I thought I would do a bit of a healthy grocery haul weekend edition because I still do really kind of cook all of our meals on the weekend pretty much. We might go out for a lunch or dinner every now and then, but just with my food intolerances and Jazz's food intolerances and wanting to be healthy in general, it's just kind of how it ends up being. So I haven't done one in a little while and I thought I owed you guys a couple of updated ideas. So I'm going to unpack everything and show you what I got. One thing I actually tried making this week and it went really well was just my own celery juice. So I bought another bunch of celery to make some more because I feel like I kind of could have cut it closer and got a little bit more celery out of it. So the way I did it was I literally just chopped it up into little cubed pieces and I put it in my NutriBullet. So it's sort of, I think the ratio is basically 3 cups of celery to half a cup of water. And it doesn't sound like enough water, but because the celery has enough water in it anyway, once you blend it up, it comes out really well. And then you just have to put it through a sieve and let it sit there and drain all of the juice through. But I actually think if I had like a cheesecloth or something that I could sort of wring out, it would be a lot more effective. So if you know where I can buy that, please let me know. Maybe it's like a specialty kitchen store or something like that, but I'll have a look. I know there's one near the South Melbourne market, so maybe that's my best bet. Tonight we are having chicken burritos, which was a special request from Jazz because I haven't made us any Mexican inspired food in a really long time. So I've got a cute little iceberg lettuce to go with that. I've also got some tomatoes, which I don't eat because of my interstitial cystitis, so I avoid these because they are super acidic. I also have, what else do I have for that? A brown onion to go with the mince, some crushed pineapple to put on them as well, a little bit of light sour cream, some coriander, and chicken mince. And chicken mince is really, really cheap. It was literally $10 for an entire kilo. And normally if you buy beef mince, it's $10 for 500 grams. So if you were trying to cut some costs and have a little bit of a lighter option than red meat, you could always go for chicken mince or turkey mince as well. You can get really nice lean turkey mince that's actually quite cheap. A little snack I've been loving lately is sliced apple with some almond butter. So I got this almond spread and then a couple of red apples, and I just really like that. It kind of hits the spot for a little bit of a blend of savory and sweet. And the almond butter is to replace peanut butter that I used to have because it's a lot lower in fat and calories as well. I also got some lemons because I cut up a lemon and have it in water pretty much every single day. That's just one of my favorite things to do. I kind of do it for the flavor, but I also feel like it helps with digestion and things as well. Another idea I had for the weekend was making some little mini pita bread pizzas for lunch. And I feel like this is a really good one when it's a little bit in between seasons, because today, for example, was 30 degrees and that was beautiful, but tomorrow is going to be back down to 17 degrees because it's Melbourne and that's just Melbourne for you. So I wouldn't mind having like a little bit of a warm lunch option until it gets hotter and we're just straight into salad season. So to put on those, I got some sliced brown mushrooms, white mushrooms? I don't really know. Yeah, sorry, white cut mushrooms. I don't even know if brown mushrooms exist. I got some red capsicum to chop up for that as well. Another little thing of pineapple. I've got some Lidl's brand shredded lactose-free cheese. So that's a really good option if you are lactose intolerant like me. I also got some barbecue chicken from the deli. I usually just get about 150 or 200 grams and that's usually enough. And that was honestly only $2. So super, super cheap way to get that in. And some rocket as well. So I've already got some pizza sauce or, you know, tomato paste, whatever you want to use in the fridge. You could also do it with barbecue sauce and that would probably be really nice too. And finally for the pizzas, a red onion just sliced up a little bit as well. So those will be really, really yummy. Next up, I got some bananas. These are just in case I want to make a protein smoothie or sometimes Jazz will just want to eat some fruit. So I get those for him. This is the brand of olive oil I've been buying. It's just Bertolli. This one is just a standard olive oil because it was on special, but I normally buy extra virgin olive oil, which is EVOO if you ever see it on a menu when you're out and about, because I never used to know what that meant, and now I finally figured it out. Using a little bit more of that rocket, I'm going to do one of my favorite breakfasts to do. I actually got this recipe from a cafe when we were in Hobart and we went out for breakfast one morning, and it's basically salmon stacks. So you use hash browns as the base. I just have one and I put 2 for Jazz. And then some avocado sliced up, some smoked salmon, which you can cook or just put it on straight from the packet. And then a little bit of rocket, salt and pepper, and a poached egg. And it is honestly delicious. You won't even notice that you're not having your slice of toast if that's something that you really like. So of course I got some smoked salmon to go with that as well. I actually kind of prefer to cook mine. I don't really like smoked salmon that much, but I know it's good for you and it is part of the recipe. So it does add a nice little saltiness, and the hash brown to the crunch, and the rocket is fresh and all of that kind of stuff. But I just feel like personally I prefer it cooked a little bit in the pan just so it's not so slimy. For the burritos tonight, I got these gluten-free white wraps for Jazz, and for me, I just got the standard Old El Paso regular tortilla ones instead. So I don't tend to eat gluten-free because I'm not gluten intolerant, I'm only lactose. So I would really not recommend anyone kind of eat gluten-free unless you need to for some health reasons, or if it's just a personal preference, because it's actually a lot higher in carbs, because a lot of the gluten-free stuff is made from, I think, like rice flour, and obviously that's very carby. So it's personal preference, totally up to you. But yeah, I don't tend to do it just because he's doing it. I also treated us to some San Pellegrino so we can have some sparkling lemon waters instead, because I think we're gonna have probably a weekend off drinking. I don't really talk about that too much on my channel, but I mean, I used to be a huge drinker and partier like a couple of years ago. Like if you'd met me early to late 20s, I was just absolutely going crazy every single weekend. But these days I just have other goals in mind. I'm really busy with the business, and I honestly just don't have time or the willpower to be horribly hungover. So it definitely hits you harder once you're in your 30s, and I just have no interest unless it's a really good event or something worthwhile. So yeah, typically I might have a glass of wine, or I'll just buy like those mini bottles of wine if I want to, because Jazz doesn't really drink. But yeah, I mean, if it's like a family dinner or something, we had one the other night and I ended up having a really nice glass of Pinot Noir, but I usually just sort of have 1 or 2 now when I drink as well. I don't really kind of feel the need to sit there and like keep ordering drinks all night long, and I kind of can't do that anymore either, because I feel like I've just lost my tolerance for it. My other breakfast idea is to make some really nice toast. So I've been looking up some recipes on Pinterest and I saw a really nice one. So I shop at Woolies and I got this bread from there. It's their 35-hour sourdough loaf seeded, and I normally buy the dark rye, but I thought I would just give this one a go because when I touched it, it was all nice and spongy, and I just thought that looked really, really yummy. So I'm going to use that. It's quite generous slices of toast, and on that I'm going to put a little bit of smashed avocado. I've got some alfalfa sprouts, which are really good for you as well. I've got some chives, so I chop those up really finely. And I also have some pumpkin seeds in pink Himalayan salt. So that's kind of the idea for the toast. It'll be a big piece of seeded bread with avocado, chives, alfalfa sprouts, pumpkin seeds, and then 2 poached eggs on the side. And I just thought that would be a really yummy breakfast. It's got, again, a little bit of crunch, a little bit of texture, something different, and a lot of nice flavor from the chives. Last 2 things in here are some pitted prunes. I know these are such a nana food to have in the house, but I really like snacking on these. Again, they're really good for your digestion, because sometimes being lactose intolerant, I can eat something random, like even a piece of bread that might have a little bit too much lactose in it, and all of a sudden my stomach is just bloated like I'm 6 months pregnant. So it's really good to have some of that stuff around the house sometimes, just to get everything feeling back to normal. And I also have these tea bags at the moment that I'm trying, which I'm just about to make one now before having dinner as a little bit of a prebiotic kind of thing. And that is from a brand called Your Tea, and it's the Grumpy Gut tea bags. So it's said to try them for 2 weeks, and you're supposed to have one in the morning and one in the evening to sort of reset your gut health. So I'll let you know how it goes, but I'm just trying it for now, and it's quite pleasant tasting anyway. So if nothing happens, it's a really nice herbal tea, and if it sort of helps me with my gut health, then great. Last item I got is a little bit of a treat since we are kind of coming into the warmer weather. I am ice block obsessed. I love having like nostalgic stuff like Super Dupers and things in the freezer, but I found a slightly more grown-up version. So these are vegan, dairy-free and gluten-free, and the brand is called Smoothies. They're also no cholesterol, no artificial additives, and 65 calories per serve, made with freshly pressed coconut milk. So that's them. The flavor is coconut and mango, and they kind of just sound like a healthy Wheat bar. So I'll let you know how they are, but I thought that would be something really nice as a bit of a snack after dinner, because otherwise sometimes I get tempted and I end up walking down to Yochi and like throwing all the naughty toppings on, and yeah, I just don't really want to do that because it's very expensive and it can be really high in sugar and stuff sometimes too, and I'm just trying to have a little bit of a break from crazy amounts of sugar and caffeine and stuff at the moment. So that is my weekend grocery haul. I hope that gave you some really yummy ideas for a few different meals and ways that you can kind of mix it up with your breakfast if you're just getting a bit bored of repeating the same sort of thing. So if you have any good ideas for me as well, please drop them in the comments. I always love to hear anything that you've got, especially if it's dairy free, because that is right up my alley. So yeah, have a lovely rest of your week or weekend whenever you happen to be watching this, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye.